Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Medasvi Commerce Classes. So today in this video I am going to discuss with the fill in the blanks which you have to prepare for your annual exam. Few question papers fill in the blanks we have just presenting in front of you people. If you prepare this, that will be more than enough. So we'll directly move on to this. Goodwill is an dash asset. Goodwill is an intangible asset. Intangible asset. Partner's loan is dashed to the realization account. Partner's loan is not transferred to the realization account. Coupon rate is dash at which the amount is paid. Coupon rate is nothing but it is a interest rate. So it is rate of interest. The term financial analysis include both analysis and interpretation. Cash flow statement helps in dash of cash flow, balancing the cash flow. Which does not belong here is tangible. Next, fill in the blanks. The agreement should be carrying on dash business, lawful business. Unrecorded asset are to be credited to dash account. Unrecorded asset are credited to revaluation account. 10,000 9% debentures issued at par. 9% means interest. Capital reserve is shown under the head dash head, that is any reserve, reserves and surplus. Tax on operating profit, it is already mentioned, operating profit, it is operating cash flow. Which does not belong here is partnership. Next, new ratio minus old ratio. New ratio minus old ratio is gain ratio. Cash is the part of issued capital, subscribed capital. Dash statements are the basic and formal annual reports, that is financial statements. Common size statement is also known as dash analysis. See, common size vertical analysis, comparative horizontal analysis, common size vertical analysis. Cash flow statement helps in dash cash flows, balancing the cash flows. So here which does not belong is horizontal. Coming to the next one, partnership is the result of agreement. Dash statements are basic and formal financial statements. Premium on issue of debentures is any premium which you are going to receive on issue of debentures, on issue of shares, it is a capital profit. On issue, you have to keep it in your mind, on issue. Dash ratio is required for sharing future profits and also for adjustments of capital. Future, it is new ratio. Cash flow statement prepared by dash method is used by most companies, indirect method. So this is not there. Next, P&L appropriation account is merely an extension of profit and loss account. If the asset taken over by a partner, such a partner's capital account to be debited. If any partner take over any asset, the entry will be partner's capital account debited to realization account. So partner's capital account will be debited. Profit on forfeiture of shares is transferred to, profit on forfeiture will be transferred to capital reserve. Capital reserve is shown under the head reserves and surplus. Any reserves will be shown under the head reserves and surplus. Current ratio is the proportion of current asset to current liability. Credited is not an answer. The agreement between partners should be carried on to some lawful business, legal business or lawful business. Unrecorded asset is to be credited to dash account at the admission. At the admission, it is revaluation account. Debenture holders are dash of the company. They are the creditors of the company. Financial statements include statement of P&L as well as balance sheet. Collection of cash from trade receivables is, you are collecting the money from the trade receivable. It is cash inflow. Cash is coming inside. Cash outflow is wrong answer. Unrecorded asset is to be credited to dash account. Unrecorded asset is to be credited to revaluation account. Amount payable to the executors of the deceased partner is transferred to executor's loan account. If they give you executor's account, if they give you executor's loan account, you write anything, okay? Discount on issue of debentures is a dash asset. It is a fictitious asset. Fictitious asset. Capital reserve is shown under the head reserves and surplus. The dash ratios are preliminary measures of return, profitability ratios. This does not belong here. General reserve is transferred to dash accounts at the time of admission. of a new partner, general reserve is transferred to. In the admission, everything will be given to the old partners. I already told you. In retirement, only for in retirement everything will be given to all the partners. Here only for the old partners. Executor's account is generally prepared at the time of death of a partner. Debentures which are transferable by mere delivery are called as bearer debentures. Quick ratio is also known as liquid ratio. Dash item may be operating, investing or financing. Interest which does not belong is admission. Old ratio minus new ratio. Old ratio minus new ratio, sacrifice ratio. Call money received in advance, calls in advance. Debenture holders are dash of the company. They are the creditors of the company. Common size analysis is also known as dash analysis. Common size vertical. Issue of new debentures. Issue of new debentures is a dash, cash inflow or cash outflow. When you are issuing a debenture, you are going to receive the cash. That is cash inflow. Cash outflow is wrong. Partnership is the result of an agreement. Profit or loss on revaluation is shared among the partners in dash ratio on the retirement. The retirement, it is old ratio. Capital reserve is shown under the head reserves and surplus. Analysis and interpretation are complementary to each other. Quick ratio is also known as liquid ratio. New is not the answer. Profit and loss appropriation account is merely an extension of profit and loss account. Amount payable to the executors of the deceased partner is transferred to executor's account. All the assets except cash, bank and fictitious assets are transferred to the dash side of the realization account. First it will be transferred to the debit side of the realization account. 10% debentures issued at par. Here 10% means rate of interest. The dash ratios are primarily measures of return, profitability ratios. Next. Accounting treatment at the time of retirement and death is same. In retirement, in death, the accounting treatment will be same. On dissolution of a firm, partner's capital account are closed through cash or bank account. Fixed assets are classified as tangible and intangible. An annual report is issued by a company to its shareholders. Dash ratios are calculated to determine the ability of the business to service debt in long run. Long run, it is solvency. Short run, it is liquidity. Long run, solvency ratio. This is not their profitability. Goodwill brought in by new partner in cash is to be distributed among the old partners in dash ratio. Goodwill distribution in the admission will be done in sacrifice ratio. Goodwill distribution in the retirement will be done in gain ratio. Keep it in your mind. Distributed among the old partners, new partner is there. So it is admission. So it is done in the sacrifice ratio. Goodwill treatment in the admission, sacrifice ratio. Goodwill treatment in the retirement, it is gain ratio. Partner's loan is dashed to the realization account. It is not transferred to the realization. Debentures which are transferable by mere delivery, bearer debentures. Fixed assets are classified as tangible and intangible. Dash activities relate to purchase and sale of fixed assets. Any fixed assets, that is investing activity. Gain is not there. Debentures which are transferable by mere delivery are called as bearer debentures. Share capital is shown under the head shareholders fund. Percentage of each asset to the total asset, common size balance sheet. A dash is a mathematical number calculated, that is ratio. Purchase of any asset by paying cash is, it is cash outflow. Comparative is not there. The liability of a partner for his acts is unlimited. Retiring partner's share of goodwill is to be debited to continuing partner's capital in dash ratio, in gain ratio. I told you goodwill in retirement, gain ratio, goodwill in admission, sacrifice ratio. If applications are received more number of shares than those offered, that is oversubscription. Current assets are dash, used in the business for a longer period of time. Analysis and interpretation are complementary to each other. Directors is not the answer. Profit or loss on revaluation is shared among the old partners. Profit or loss on revaluation is shared among the old partners in old ratio. No entry is required when dash accept fixed assets in payments of is dues. Creditors. See, when creditors accept the fixed asset in payment of the dues, the entry is not required at all. The directors of the company must be shareholders. If you want to become a director, first you should be a shareholder of the company. Debenture account is shown under the head dash non-current liability. Current ratio is the proportion of current asset to current liability. Here new is not there. Unrecorded asset is to be credited dash account at the time of admission of a partner, revaluation account. Profit or loss on revaluation is shared among the old partners in dash ratio in the retirement, old ratio. Next, profit on forfeiture of shares is transferred to capital reserve. Premium on issue of debentures is a capital profit. The dash ratio are primarily measures of return, profitability. Hidden is not there. Unrecorded asset is to be credited to dash account at the time of admission of a partner. It's be credited to revaluation account. No entry is required when accepts the, when creditor accepts the fixed assets. As per the Companies Act 2000, debentures cannot be redeemed at discount. Debentures cannot be redeemed at discount. The ratio through which the activity of the firm's inventory can be measured is inventory turnover ratio. Cash flow statement is prepared as per the AS3. This is not their premium. Next, partnership as no separate legal entity. Goodwill bought in by new partner in cash is to be distributed among the old partner in dash ratio. That is, in admission, it is in the sacrifice ratio. In retirement, goodwill is in the gain ratio. Debentures account is shown under the head dash in the balance sheet, long-term borrowings. Income statement is prepared to ascertain profitability of the enterprises. Dash activities related to the purchase and sale of fixed asset, investing activity. This is not their gain. Old ratio minus new ratio, sacrifice ratio. If asset is taken over by a partner, such a partner capital account is to be, asset is taken over, it is to be debited. Share capital appears under the head shareholders fund. Comparative analysis is also known as comparative is horizontal. Common size is vertical. Dash ratios measures the relationship between long-term debt and equity. Debt and equity, it is already debt equity ratio, which does not belong, is vertical. Partnership is the result of agreement. Dash account is debited for share of transfer of accrued profit. Share of transfer of accrued profit. Share of transfer of accrued profit of a deceased partner. That is profit and loss suspense account. Call money received in advance is calls in advance. Premium on issue of debentures is a capital profit. Cash flow statement prepared by dash method, indirect method. Direct is not the answer. Goodwill brought in cash by new partner is to be distributed among the old partners in their sacrifice ratio. Dash account is debited for transfer of share of accrued profit, profit and loss suspense account. Debentures which are transferable by mere delivery, that is bearer debentures. Capital reserve is shown in the balance sheet under the head reserves and surplus. Purchase of any asset by paying cash is, by paying cash you are purchasing the asset, that is cash outflow. Cash inflow is not the answer. Next one. Partnership is the result of dash agreement. Dash account is debited for transfer of share, that is P&L suspense account. Call money received in advance, calls in advance. Premium on issue of debentures is a capital profit. Cash flow statement prepared by dash method, indirect method. Direct method is not the answer. Next, unrecorded assets are to be dash to revaluation account, is to be credited to revaluation account. Amount payable to the executors of the deceased partner is transferred to executor's loan account. The cost of winding up of the firm is realization expenses. Cost is nothing but the expenses which are incurred for closing down of your business. Realization expenses or dissolution expenses. Dash means explaining the meaning and significance of the data, that is interpretation. Interpretation means explaining the meaning and significance of data. The dash ratio provides information about the critical to the long run operation. Long run operation solvency, short run it is liquidity. Okay, analysis is not the answer. So these are the fill in the blanks which you have to prepare it. Little bit lengthy, but that's okay, because you are going to get 5 marks out of it. All this so many things are repeated, so prepare with this, fill up the blanks. Okay, thank you, bye.